Welcome back, everyone. Today we have something a little different. Now, for stone 245, I've decided to work on this beautiful piece, very large piece, of Meteor Shower Sunstone that I won from Carlyn over at Carlyn's Colorful Creations. Please check out her channel. I will leave a link in the description. Now, in its rough form, this stone is 28 by 23.5 by 17.2 millimeters, and it weighs 49.5 carats, or rather, it did weigh 49.5 carats, because as I was exploring it, goofing around, I accidentally, or not accidentally actually, managed to pry off this little piece. And I've never worked sunstone before, so this will be interesting. My experience basically is watching Carlyn cut several pieces of sunstone, so it looks pretty intriguing. Now this piece is 13.5 by 12 by 5 millimeters. And you can see it's pretty translucent. You can see my finger underneath of that, right? Let's weigh it up. Let's see what we have to work with on this particular chunk. Looks like 4.6 carats. So my plan originally was maybe to cut this end off here because it's got a crack there, so I'd actually get two chunks to work with. But I really think this piece is a bit too big to work easily on a burr. I mean, I could do it, but it might not be pretty. It would be fairly undulating, and I think honestly this bigger piece probably yield 2 or 3 pretty nice stones, particularly this top part. Anyway, that's not what we're looking at. This time we're going to do this piece, and it kind of wedges there, so the thickness isn't even, but pretty easy to get rid of that. Figure somewhere in there maybe. Good drop or oval shaped material. There is some color of the sunstone in this. It's probably not coming through too well on this particular camera, but it does in the microscope. So let's go take a look at that, and then we'll come back and start cutting this piece. Okay, everyone, let's start shaping. I'm going to start and use the 600 grit sintered diamond burr. This is basically I'm going to use this bit primarily to remove the rough edges. It's pretty sharp right along this edge, and this overhang here sticking out. Anyway, let's take these rough corners off. The ultimate goal is to make sure I'm not cutting up the Nova burrs when I start using them, and hopefully won't have any chipping. This material seems to be a little bit harder than Opal. Well, it's getting there. Still a little bit on this flat surface. Let's take that off. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and get a close-up, and then we'll switch over to the 280 grit Nova. So a very wise man once told me, don't be a hero, use a template. That man was Riley Gunn. Go check out his shop at Opal Auctions. It's 53 Frogs. And on YouTube, it's NN Opals. So I tried to maximize the oval, and given the thickness of the stone from one side to the other, maybe I should go for something even fatter than that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cut off a little chunk. And maybe I'll do that anyway, just because I want the experience of cutting this material. And it will provide more footage. Ha! There we go. So, we'll remove that. Get out the lovely saw. I saw what I did there. Let's get the water going. right, here goes nothing. Alright, I didn't screw that up. That was nice. So did I do the right thing here? Let's see. Let's get this focused. Honestly, that will speed up the shaping a little bit. So, ooh, Schiller. I can see it. Can you? Let's practice another little bit of a trick. A little Dr. Phil cutting. Go ahead and check out Phil's channel as well. Wow, that works really well. Maybe I've been converted. It's all saw cuts from here on out, folks. Alright, so we have cut off the little piece. We have a chip there. And there's actually a little bit of one here at the top. Hopefully those don't impact too much. Let's get on with it. Let's do this with the dop stick so I can try to get better shaping on the edge. Time to check. And welcome back. We're going to do side B now. 280 grit. Checking a thickness on both sides. Close, so close. So we have an issue. Both of these ends have cracks. So I think I'm going to have to take those cracks in just a little bit more. The stone is also very nearly the same thickness all the way around. So a little bit more effort on that, and then we'll get some close-ups. All right, here we are back with the 280. I've examined this stone and taken some close-ups. Looks pretty good. There's still some areas that need work. Still some tiny cracks on either end. One side has a bigger crack. Yeah, it's that side has a bigger crack. It's still slightly thicker on one side than the other, but doming should take care of that. And then along the girdle, one side still has a little bit of an issue, but that's nothing that can't be handled. Meanwhile, in the background, I'm watching YouTube with Femme Mécanique Designs. Has a live stream going with a maker's bunch. 4 other people on the stream at once, and me vicariously working this. So I have an idea here, taking both ends off to take care of all the cracks. I'm going to make this a lot smaller. Do I really want to do that? Or do I want to just start doming and hope that it works out? Oh man. Well, first time working with this stuff. Guess I gotta take a chance, huh? Let's do it that way. Let's try the doming process. right, we are at the 600 grit Nova burr. We have the stone dopped up. Things are rolling. Let's go. Let's check really quickly. It's coming along quite well. So this will probably be the end of the recording of this process. And I will see you on the other side at the 1200. So we have the 1200 grit Nova burr set up here. And we're just going to do a nice pre-polish on this stone. And then we'll polish it. Time to check. And here is the stone, ready for polishing. Let's get on with it, shall we? Charge up the felt tip. Some water and cerium. A little more chunky cerium out of the bin. All right, let's do this thing. This is the first time that I have polished sunstone of any kind. So this will be interesting. Ooh, doggy. If that makes any sense to you. Alright, this thing takes a polish on pretty easily. Wish I'd worked that face a little better because I can see some little bumps and divots in it, which kind of sucks, but first stone, no problem. And if I really hate the result, well, I can always just recut the face. Alright, let's shut that down for just a second. Clean up the stone. And this isn't really even 3 minutes in. So that's pretty nice. I'm going to put a little bit more effort into this and switch the stone over and polish the other side. And then we're going to see the results. See you there. And here we are with the finished product. And I think it looks pretty good right there. The girdle is still a little bit wavy, but that's pretty hard to tell now. I think I got the thickness fairly even. The shape looks good, although to me it still looks a little off. I like the flecks of the Meteor Sunstone in it. Got a great polish. Boom! Schiller! What is Schiller, anyway?
Schiller, a variable optical phenomenon in gems or minerals, related to sheen, varies from a milky to an almost metallic shimmer to a vivid iridescent play of color. It is usually seen just below the surface in certain varieties of pyroxene, feldspar, etc.
Wow, thanks, Opalbot. The more you know, I guess. Anyway, let's take the last looks at this beautiful little stone. I did pretty well. I think, looking back, the most important lesson I've learned here is to use the sintered diamond bit more to shape it into its more final shape. That will help the wear and tear on the Nova bits. Let's recap. In the rough, stone 245 weighed 4.6 carats. It was 13.5 by 12 by 5 millimeters. Carlyn at Carlyn's Colorful Creations gave me this. And this comes from Harts Range, Northern Territory, Australia. The cost was free. Now, at the end of the 280 grit Nova burr, stone 245 weighed 1.8 carats, was 10.2 by 6 by 3.5 millimeters. And finished, stone 245 weighs 1.65 carats, is 10 by 5.8 by 3.2 millimeters. Its shape is an oval, and it has a low dome. For the good, it's an oval. It has a great polish. It has a nice dome. It has nice meteor specks and a bright schiller. For the bad, the shape is slightly off and the girdle is a tad wonky. But you know, I put this under magnification and the template over it, and I think I'm crazy because it actually looks pretty good. So I guess there's nothing ugly. As for the value, the cost was free. What is it worth? I don't know, $2. So just a reminder here, I created my channel to not only track the progress of my opal cutting skills, but also to show that it's really pretty affordable to get into. And if I can do it, you can do it. And now its journey is complete. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Boom, Schiller.